Hi, I'm Ron Landis. Welcome to my studio. Hi y'all. I'm engraving an armrest for a banjo. It's for a buddy of mine in Colorado. He's got a Granada that he's restoring and he needs a replacement armrest, so I'm engraving this like the original or close to it. And I built this, I just cut out a little piece of walnut here as a backer for this. And I'm going to give a little cushion there with a piece of leather and clamp it in my engraving block here. I want to make one point perfectly clear. I am not soliciting banjo engraving work. I'm doing this as a special favor for an old friend. And I don't want to get the idea out there that I'm going into business engraving banjos. That's not what I'm trying to do. But if you want to do it, this is how you do it. This is old school. This is Chinese white. It's a watercolor. And I'm just smearing it on here. Probably lead in there, but hey, I'm still alive. I've been using it for 40 years now. No, there's no lead in there. What that does is it takes the glare off the metal and gives me a surface that will take a pencil mark. So I'll need to look at my pattern, which is right behind the cameraman on the computer, and get an idea of what I'm trying to reproduce here. Anyway, so it's got this double arc thing here. I'm going to use this template. Oh, first I'm going to have to find a middle. So that is 17 millimeters. So that would be 8.5 centimeters to the center. So there's my center. And now I'm going to figure out these arcs. I'm going to have to use two different ones to make it around the bend. Well, you'll see it here in a second. And I think this will do it about right here. And then there's another one. It's going to take a different arc since the tail piece is bending around. I think this one should do it here. I use the TAR system. It stands for That's About Right. Okay, I'll just eyeball this in. Oh, nice. Did you get a good close-up with that fly in there? Sometimes when that happens under my microscope, it looks like Godzilla just entered the room. Under 22 power. They can look pretty intimidating. And you see my lines aren't really accurate. I'm just kind of doing a map. I kind of see it better as I'm cutting it. It's best to work with a more accurate pattern. If this was this is kind of a loose thing anyway. If I was doing something a little more exact, I'd make a pattern and I'd print it on there. It'd be very exacting. I'd spend a lot of time on it. I just want to make sure my curves flow nice. Always want your curves to flow. And that's about right. That looks about like my model over here. Now I'm using a number 39 flat graver. Sharpened it on my hone. And I've already cut the back side of it. So just doing the front now. This is called a walking cut or a wriggle cut. And I'm just bearing down straight into it and walking the graver across. I'm using a lot of pressure to keep it in. You don't want that sucker to come out and go skating across, which I might do if I don't shut up. I believe this is gold plated. It feels like it's just raw brass though. You never know. The last one he sent me had a chrome undercoat, which was unengravable. I couldn't pierce through it. I don't like to take on anything that's been plated just because You never know. It's a lot of times they have chrome underneath. You just can't cut through it. This is all done 100% with walking cuts. This is about the easiest engraving technique to do, because the fact that you're so far into the metal, once you get the feel of it, it's pretty hard to mess it up. And as you can see, you can get a very mechanical pattern in there. Most people that see it assume this is done by machine because of the pattern that it leaves. It looks very mechanical. But as you can see, it's all done by hand. And this is the type of cutting they did on band instruments, you know, large things that you want to decorate and cover a lot of area. This was kind of a generic pattern that Gibson used on I guess probably just the Granadas. As you can see, it's pretty simple. Some are more elaborate than others.